One Bandit here. Welcome to the channel. Well, we're back on our voyage delivering the Baron to Alaska, and we're here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and we're going to head up to eventually Walla Walla, Washington. We're going to do a little en route leg to Boise, and we'll stop there, and then we'll head on up to Walla Walla from there. Beautiful day here in Jackson Hole, gorgeous weather. And yeah, it should be a fun little trip. We're going to go IFR today, and I'm going to use Beyond ATC for the first leg anyway, because there is no VATSIM ATC online right now. So they just did an update with Beyond ATC, so we'll see how it's looking, if there's any improvements to using that in the sim. Anyway, beautiful day here in Jackson Hole. We got a little bit of traffic here. Let's get our airplane ready. Get the chocks. Lots of business jets fly out of Jackson Hole here. Just a real quick walk around so we can get going. Say we already did a bit of a walk around before we pushed it out of the hangar here. Everything looks pretty good. We'll move our control locks. Just going to put that out of the way so we can see things a little bit better. We'll just leave the door open while we're getting things going here. Here's our route today. We're going to be going ZELOR. I changed it from what's in the description, so I'll amend it later on. But and I'll just show you on. We got here Navigraph, just show you what our route's going to be. So we're here in Jackson. We're going to head up to Boise. So we'll just take off and we'll just kind of follow this valley here, just south of the higher terrain. And then we're going to go up to Walla Walla after this, and that is up in this direction up here. So might be right around here, I think. Well, I'm going to have to look at it later, but anyway, it's heading up this way. Right here, Walla Walla. So that's going to be the second leg. This one's about an hour 20, next one's about an hour. And yeah, good weather here, a little bit hazy with some smoke from the forest fires in Boise, but shouldn't be too bad. I'm using a payware scenery for Boise and a freeware scenery I linked in the description for Walla Walla. Anyway, let's get things going here. So get the battery on, alternators on. And we'll get the door closed. Get the mixtures full rich, props full forward. Fuels are both on there. Get the cowl flaps open. Okay, for today's flight, I put on pretty close to full tanks. I got about 85 gallons side, about 1,000 pounds of fuel, and that should be enough for both legs with some alternate reserves as well. So we shouldn't have to refuel in Boise. We'll get things started up here first. We'll get the right fuel pump on. Check our fuel flow. We're at higher altitude, so we're barely making the green here. That's okay. I'll leave it on a little bit longer just because of the high altitude. We'll bring it back. We'll crack the throttle. And it's clear to the right, clear prop. And we'll get the engine going here. There we go. Get it up to at least 1,000 RPM. 1,100 should probably be pretty good. Just get things warmed up. Okay, we'll do the same. I'm going to get some nav lights on here first. Get those in the beacon. And we'll do the same with the left engine here. Again, bring it up. Got a little bit better fuel pressure on this one. Bring it back down. Pump off. Again, we'll bring it up. And clear on the left. And good start on the left side. T's and P's are coming up. Got good pressures, temperature is slowly coming up. Bring this one up to about 1100 RPM as well. It's a little bit warm in here, so I'll get some AC going. Put it on low. Get the right engine a little bit higher. The air conditioner vent opens up there. And we'll see if we get some cool air going in here while we're getting things set up. Let's get our avionics master on. I'm using the TDS GTN 750 XIs. My preferred upgraded navigation system here in the sim for these planes.
TOS, system test okay.
And if you don't have those, you can use the PMS one as well. Plus, you can use the regular GTN 530s or GNS 530s. Okay, so charts. Let's get some ATIS here first. That's in standby for now. And we got 120.2625.
Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor. Jackson Hole Airport information, Victor. 1859er Zulu. Wind 220 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 26. Dew point 09er. Altimeter 3012. Landing and departing runway 19er. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor.
3012.
Jackson Hole Airport information, Victor. 1859er Zulu. Wind 220 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 26. Dew point 09er. Altimeter 3012. Landing and departing runway 19er. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor.
Ground 2455.
Jackson Hole Airport information, Victor.
And let's request our IFR clearance.
Jackson ground, November 848 Delta, Ram Sierra 19er, ready to copy IFR clearance to Boise Air Terminal with information, Victor.
November 848 Delta, Jackson ground, information, Victor correct, cleared to Boise Air Terminal. Radar vector ZELOR, then as filed. Maintain 1010,000. Expect 12,000 feet, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 133.25. Squawk 1455.
Clear to Boise Air Terminal. Radar vector ZELOR, then as filed. Maintain 1010,000. Expect 12,000 feet, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 133.25. Squawk 1455, November 848 Delta.
November 848 Delta, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Roger that, November 848 Delta.
Okay, so we have our clearance. We're cleared. We'll just take off from heading up to 10,000 feet. Expect 12,000 radar vectors to our first fix. Our squawk is 1455, taking off runway 19. So I got the runway heading in 10,000 feet, and that's all looking good. It's cooling off nicely. I'm just going to shut the air conditioner off now. Okay, so that's good, and let's get our route in real quick. So we got ZELOR, CVIAR, I can't even say that one, CANEK, and then Boise, and that's the initial fix for the approach in the Boise. Hopefully we can get that. So flight plan, we'll just put that in. So ZELOR. To CVIAR. and CANEK, C-A-N-E-K, and KBOI, Boise Air Terminal for our destination. Let's look at the route there. So out of Jackson down to ZELOR. So you see we're following this lower terrain here.
55 Echo Papa, taxi to Ram Sierra 17 via Alpha Tree Alpha Delta. Taxi to Ram Sierra 17
So that looks good.
Alpha 3 Alpha Delta, November 55 Echo Papa.
Let me know in the chat if the ATC is too loud. I can turn it down a little bit. Sounds okay for me though. Okay, so that's our route. That is entered. Yeah, the higher terrain up here. So if you cut across here, you would have to probably go up to 14,000, but we can stay at 12,000 down here. And supplemental auction. So I'm just going to check our auction levels. We do have it. The way it works, I just looked up the FAA rules today. Just wanted to see if they were comparable. But basically below 12,000, you don't need supplemental auction. Below 12.5, if you're above 12.5 to 14.5, you can go for 30 minutes without it. Above 30 minutes, then you need supplemental auction, and then if you're above 14.5, you need supplemental auction pretty much all the time. So those are the rules, FAA rules. So we'll follow those today. We're going to go at 12, so we technically don't need it, but I'd say it's probably a good idea if you have it to probably put it on above 10,000 feet. And you can monitor the your CO2 levels or your pulse ox levels in the tablet there when we get going. Okay, so I think we're ready to taxi. So we'll request taxi. Let's get the chart up here, and then we'll taxi down and do our run up. So we can anticipate taxi in Alpha, and then we'll do our run up down here in the corner, and then Alpha 4 departure. So we'll request startup only because BATC asked us to.
November 848 Delta, engine start approved, Colwyn ready for taxi.
Wuko startup approved, November 848 Delta.
Normally for these GA ramps, you don't have to request startup requests. Some places you do though. So let's just request taxi to the runway.
Delta, ready to taxi to the active.
November 848 Delta, runway 19er taxi via Charlie Alpha.
Runway 19er taxi via Charlie Alpha, November 848 Delta.
Jackson ground, Delta 2282, gate 1 Papa, ready to copy IFR clearance.
So Charlie is to the right, and then we'll go out Alpha. Okay, we'll get our taxi light on.
2282 Jackson ground, clear to Salt Lake City Airport. Alpine 5 departure with the Big Piney transition.
Check our brakes. Brakes are good.
Climb via set except maintain 15,000. Departure frequency 133.25. Squawk 5200.
Clear to Salt Lake City Airport. Alpine 5 departure with the Big Piney transition, then as filed. Climb via set except maintain 15,000. Departure frequency 133.25. Squawk 5200 Delta 2282.
Delta 2282, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Wilco Delta 2282. Delta 2282 at gate 1 Papa. Request pushback and engine start.
Quite a lot of airliners flying out of here.
Delta 2282, Jackson ground, hold position for traffic.
Hold position Delta 2282.
So he's going to have to hold for us. So that's pretty straightforward. So we'll go back to the map. Our initial track out of here is 249. So we can put that in.
Delta 2282, Jackson ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face north.
Pushback approved. Face north Delta 2282.
Yeah, so if you saw my last video doing the Alaska delivery flight, we flew in VFR to here. It was a beautiful flight, and the scenery looks amazing here in the Grand Teton Mountains, Jackson Hole. Part of that latest update, scenery update. Oops, keep looking ahead here.
Delta, contact Jackson Tower 118.075.
Contact Tower 118.075, November 848 Delta.
We're going to take it right up to the end, and then we'll do a nice run up. Just in the corner there. Right up here. Big de-icing facility here. We'll get up out of the way, so hopefully they'll let those airliner taxing out go by us there as we're doing our run up. Pull up here. The winds are kind of from the south here. There's a nice windsock right there. Okay, so we set our parking brake. Let's bring mixtures are full forward. Let's bring the props up to 1700 RPM. It's good. We'll cycle our props. It's a 300 RPM drop there. Looks good. We'll check our mags. More than 100 drop. Okay, they look good.
Aquajet 736, request flight level 210. Aquajet 736, climb and maintain flight level 210. Climb and maintain flight level 210. Aquajet 736.
Okay, we'll check our prop. The de-icing looks good there. Should cycle. Good. Windshield heat. We get the light. And we get a jump in the amps there. It's good. We'll check each the pitot heats left. So we get the light, little jump in the amps. Same thing with the right. And same thing with the vent and the stall warning. Put all those off. Light is out. Check the surface de-ice. Manual, and it goes up into the green. And we'll check auto. Goes in the green and should cycle. It's good. Okay, everything looks good there. Do a quick autopilot check. And bring our back here. I'll just bring those mixtures back a little bit. Okay, we got autopilot. So we'll do an autopilot test. All the lights are good. Okay, we'll engage the autopilot. Flight director is engaged. We'll select heading, so our heading's off to the left, that's good. Put the yoke up here so we can see it. And we'll select heading. And the flight director and the yoke go to the left. Adjust our heading to the right. And the flight director follows to the right. And the yoke is good. We'll disconnect. That disconnects autopilot. We'll disconnect again. That disconnects the flight director. So that looks good. Put on back runway heading for the departure. Okay, so the autopilot check is good. It's getting a little warm in here already, so we'll leave the AC off. I think we'll just get ready to go real quick. So we can just double check the checklist here before we go, make sure we got everything. It's been a little while since I've flown this airplane, week and a half or so. So before starting checklist, we'll say all the pre-flight stuff was complete. And then we did the engine start already. So now after starting, so lights, weather radar, standby, avionics are on. Cabin heat is not required. Air conditioning is off right now. Make sure we're leaned. Parking brakes and brakes are checked. The run up, so parking brake, tested the enunciators. Let's just check those real quick. They're all good. Remote compass is in the green. We got mixture, full rich. We already did that. 1700 RPM. We exercise propellers. Check the magnetos. Instrument air is in the green. Left alternator off, so we'll check that. Left alternator can go off, and we got a light. And zero load. Right alternator can go off. We got a light, and still zero load. Left alternator can go on. Light is out. Load takes over. And the right alternator on, light, and the load is split. Well, the alternator checks are good. Propeller heat, we checked that already. Prop heat, it's good. Windshield heat was good. Left pitot heat we checked. Right pitot heat, the fuel vent, we checked all those. Heat switches off. We checked the surface de-ice. Boot pressure was good. Throttle's back. Electric trim. We can just check it here real quick. So just using the electric trim on my yoke. There we go. We'll set for takeoff. Neutral is good. Autopilot test is complete. Elevator trim is set. Flaps, we'll check run of the flaps. Make sure it goes out visually. And we got flaps down, and we'll put them up for the approach or takeoff. Windows closed. This is a really important one. Don't take off with this window open, or else you'll crash the plane. Aft annunciator door is out. Flight controls are free and correct. Check our rudders. Altimeter is set. Departure heading is set. Takeoff heading is set. Panel lights not required. Parking brake release. So we are ready to go. That's the run up complete. Next will be before takeoff. So we're going to taxi out right here for takeoff. So it'll be mixtures full forward. Temperatures are good. Boost pumps off. Air conditioning is off. Landing light. Transponder. We can go to alt mode. So let's do that now. And weather radar is off. We don't need that today. Takeoff, it'll just be advancing the throttles, checking the T's and P's, and then flap retraction at 100 knots. Okay, so we'll taxi out here. I'll get the mixtures. Mixtures are full. And we'll request departure.
November 848 Delta, holding short, runway 19er.
November 848 Delta, hold short of runway 19er, arriving traffic.
Hold short of runway 19er, November 848 Delta.
Okay, text lights off. Get the parking brake on. There's our arriving traffic. Yeah, so the voice response on the Beyond ATC is really fast now.
848 Delta, runway 19er, line up and wait.
Line up and wait. Runway 19er, November 848 Delta.
Okay, taxi lights on, strobe lights on.
November 848 Delta, Jackson Tower, wind 220 at 6, fly heading 190, runway 19er, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 190, runway 19er, cleared for takeoff, November 848 Delta.
Heading 190, clear for takeoff. So strobe lights on, landing lights are on. Mixtures are full forward, props full forward. It's clear. So runway heading to 10,000. It looks good. Remember, it's high altitude here, so it's going to be a longer takeoff roll than normal. But we have the turbocharger, so we can get full manifold pressure, which is nice. Okay, T's and P's are all looking in the green. There's 85 knots. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Speed 100, flaps up.
Jet 736, amend altitude, climb and maintain flight level 320. Climb and maintain flight level 320, Jet 736.
And gear is up, and flaps are up. And just runway heading to 10,000 feet.
November 848 Delta, contact Salt Lake Center 133.25.
Center on 133.25, November 848 Delta. Salt Lake Center, November 848 Delta. Good day. Leaving 7,000 for 10,000 feet.
November 848 Delta, Salt Lake Center. Good day. Radar contact. Climb, maintain 12,000. Altimeter 3012.
Climb, maintain 12,000. Altimeter 3012. November 848 Delta.
12,000 feet.
Skywest 5012. Descend and maintain 12,000.
Okay, I'll bring the props back a little bit.
Descend and maintain 12,000.
Keep the power up.
Skywest 5012.
Yeah, I think we'll get the autopilot on. Flight director. I'll engage heading. And we can go vertical speed. Let's do 1,500 feet per minute. Or 1,400, we'll engage that. And then it's arm for the altitude capture.
Turn left, heading 230. Descend, maintain 9,500 vectors for the approach. Turn left, heading 230. Descend, maintain 9,500. Skywest 50.
We'll go to our map. So anytime I think we got good altitude now, we should be able to make the right turn en route. So we'll see. Cow flaps are closed. Or open, I'll leave them closed till we level off.
Report the field in sight.
And let's get the after takeoff check. Continuous power.
Cleared visual approach, runway 19er. Cleared visual approach 19er, Skywest 5012.
Takeoff, max en route climb. Let's do an en route climb. Mixture, max, props 2,500. Pretty close to that. Throttles full. Cow flaps as required. We'll leave them open for now. Air conditioning is not required. Temperature's coming down. Cabin heater's not required. Oxygen not yet. And engine performance we'll monitor. So because of the terrain, they might not clear us through our first fix here until we get it up to 12,000 feet. So we'll see what happens here. There's 1,000 to go. Okay, we're above 10. We'll get our lane lights off.
Skywest 5012, contact Jackson Tower 18075 CU. Contact Tower 18075, Skywest 5012, good day. November 848 Delta, cleared direct door. Resume navigation.
Roger, heading direct Zula to then resume own navigation November 848 Delta, thanks.
My pleasure.
Direct to ZELOR.
Enjoy your flight.
And we'll go direct. Go to nav mode. And 256 is our course. We're leveling off at 12. We'll accelerate, and then we'll set our power up for the cruise. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, we're level at 12. We got nav going here. Just center up my heading. And we'll set some cruise power. So we'll set 2500 for the props. Get the prop sync on. That looks good. I'm going to set about 3500 manifold pressure. It's for about a 85% power cruise. That looks good. We'll start bringing our mixtures back a little bit. And then we'll go into the lean find. Checking our mixtures, coming back. Go to lean find, lean richer peak. So we're going to just slowly bring it back till we hit the peak on each engine. You can see the hottest cylinder flashing there on each one. Get pretty close to peak, I think. There's peak and peak. Okay, so we'll bring them up now. So we're going to go rich peak, so go through 0 and bring it up till it increases. So about 25, I think, is a reasonable number, 25, 30. That looks reasonable. We can probably close up those cowl flaps now. The outside air temperature is 10 degrees. Checking our T's and P's are all good. Fuel flow is about 19 SI, that's reasonable. And let's check our true airspeed. So we got 10 degrees. So we're at 12,000 feet, so you put the 10 degree mark on 10 degree mark here on 12,000 line. So we'll turn this. So we have the 12,000 line just on the 10 degree mark. And that shows us about 213, 215 true. We can double check that in the GPS here. So we go utilities, true airspeed, and we got 217 true. Yeah, and that's pretty good. It's going over. It's about that now, 217. Nice. We got, let's see, what do we got for wind? A little bit of a headwind, yeah, so our ground speed's going to be just under 200 knots. And we got a 198. It's cooling off here. Throw a little bit of heat on. Put it on low. Just make sure our vent is open here. Okay, we'll keep an eye on the temperature.
November 848 Delta, contact Salt Lake Center 128.35.
So let's do our cruise checklists.
8.35 November 848 Delta. Salt Lake Center, November 848 Delta. Good day, 111800.
November 848 Delta, Salt Lake Center.
Well, we should be at 12. I'm gonna hit the B bug here just in case. Oh yeah, so it has changed quite a bit. Okay, cowl flaps are closed, line lights are off, pitot heat we don't need right now. Actually, no, I think we're okay. 10 degrees still. Windshield heat not required, prop heat not required, surface de-ice not required, fuel and balance, so we do. Fuel is looking pretty good, both just under full. Mixtures are lean, prop 25, throttle 33, we've got 35. Heat is on, air conditioning not required, cabin heater is on, and performance monitor. So that's our cruise checklist. Yeah, so we're looking good.
November 18 Zulu Delta, amend altitude, climb and maintain flight level 240. Climb and maintain flight level 240, November 18 Zulu Delta.
Yeah, so by doing this route, we're staying just south of the higher terrain. So you see the higher terrain just up here. We'd probably have to do 14,500, 15,000 maybe if we went right over these mountains here. But we're good. 12 is fine here. And the nice thing about 12 is technically you don't need oxygen. If you're curious, though, you can go into the cabin and you can see what your pulse ox is. So it's 90% right now. So that's simulating what it would be realistically at this altitude. And I think if we pull the oxygen on, it should see it go up. So we have our oxygen on here. And we're going to pretend that we're wearing our little nasal tubes for breathing the oxygen.
Contact Salt Lake Center 3325, take care.
Center on 3325, SkyWest 6411.
And I'm not sure if there's pretty sure that's all we have to do is pull that switch to gauge the oxygen. So yeah, you can see it's slowly going up now. So since we have the oxygen, and it's always a good idea, even though it's not technically required at this altitude, it's always a good idea just to use it.
November 18 Delta, amend altitude, climb and maintain flight level 280. Climb and maintain flight level.
So let's get an idea how long it's going to be till we get to Boise to CVIAR there. So you can use a little utility in here for trip planning. Use present position, and we can do our flight plan. Is say present position to CANEK, which is the initial fix along the active flight route, and that is going to be in 1 hour and 5 minutes. Nice. And then probably 10 minutes to shoot the approach. Yeah, so I fueled up with over 1,000 pounds of gas, so it was 85 gallons a side. That should be more than enough. We can land in Boise, just reprogram our next flight plan up to Walla Walla, and then we should have more than enough gas to do the next leg without having to refuel. Now getting a little bit too warm in here. Decrease the heat a little bit. Just put the blower on low. Now, if we want to kind of have a VNAV profile, because right now we don't have any VNAV profile in there. So what we can do is we can just take a look at the approach. So if we go to the charts here for Boise, and let's get some weather for Boise first, just get some information. So the weather for Boise is 3209, clear skies, good visibility, 24 degrees, 3005. So based on that, they're going to probably be using the
Climb and maintain flight level 210, SkyWest 4230.
probably going to be using the runways 28 left or right. So we'll plan 28 left because I think the GA parking's down here somewhere. And yeah, so the approach I looked at filing to was so kind of the reason I'll explain how I picked the fixes here. So when I ran a Simbury profile, it gave me a couple of fixes. I just modified it so that I ended up at CANEK, and instead of like the Boise VOR and then direct to the airport, because CANEK is the initial fix for the RNAV approach 28 left. So I felt it, based on the weather, it was reasonable that it was going to be landing on 28, so CANEK would be a good option to start the approach. So hopefully this just links up nicely with the approach. So if I go into approaches and before my airline days, this is kind of how I would pretty often do it, whatever airport I was going to, unless there was a dedicated arrival that you had to fly or something like that. But in this case, we're not flying any arrival. I would always look at what the active runways were, what approach I anticipated doing, and then my last fix would be the initial fix for the approach. Especially if you're going to an uncontrolled airport or a small airport that doesn't have much traffic, and quite often ATC will just give you that clearance. So let's look up the RNAV Yankee, I believe it was, for 28 left. And this is the RNAV Yankee 28 left. And one of the initial fixes is CANEK here, so that's where we're filed to. So it's got CANEK at 7,800 feet or above. And so what we can do, that's 5 miles to go to there, so we can put in the min safe altitude of 9,400 feet at CANEK to kind of give us a point for a top of descent. So we can just put that in our flight plan. So I can just go CANEK 9,400 feet. And that's at 9,400 feet. We'll save that. Now you can see it's in there. It's amended, has a little pencil there, it means we've amended it. And then you go back to our top of descent. You see our top of descent right there. So it's not very far before doing the approach, but it'll give us a general idea of where we want to start down. Because we're only at 12 and we just got to get down to 9,400 feet. So now we have some top of descent info.
November 200 Tango Echo, contact Salt Lake Center 118.05.
Center on 118.05, November 200 Tango Echo, good day.
Yeah, temperature is looking okay, a little bit more heat probably. See what our pulse ox is getting up to. Yeah, 96, so we're back up in a normal range now. And you got your oxygen level up here as well. So I don't think it's in the BlackSquare manual, but normally you'd have a table for oxygen use. So it would be if you had what PSI you had in the tank for your oxygen here. So you'd look down what PSI you had to start, and then you determine how many people were using it, what altitude you're going to be at, and then it would give you the chart would tell you how long you should be able to use your O2 for that. So if you had 2 people on board and you're going to be at 20,000 feet, it would give you enough idea of how long your oxygen would last. Here's the valley we're flying down. That's the higher terrain we're avoiding up to the north there.
Radar 523 Salt Lake Center, radar contact
So we can kind of get a, let's see this airport here, we can get an idea. This is how you can get your altimeter information. You can ask ATC for the leader's altimeter, but we can get it here too. Just go to weather data, 3003. I'll just hit the B key and see what it updates to. Yeah, a little bit, probably about 300 or 3,000, so pretty close. That's a nice feature, just being able to go find stuff nearby and get information like that here on the GTN. Let me know in the comments if you've seen the latest Garmin product that's just released called Axis. It basically takes I forget what they're called, the GTX, I think, touchscreen panels, and it's basically combining a touchscreen panel with a GPS receiver and attitude indicator and everything. So you just put in this panel and you get all the features of the GTN, plus a nice big primary flight display, and you can have a second one as a nav display, and because you have two, you have dual GPSs. It's all touchscreen, and you can have maps, primary flight displays. It's an amazing product. I saw a couple reviews on it. It looks really cool. Wondering if they're going to bring that into the sim. If somebody's going to make a version of that you can have in the sim, that would be kind of cool. And it's a brand new product just coming out now. Or somebody's already on it for bringing it into the sim, hopefully.
Rodeo 523, request flight level 300.
Radio 523, descend and maintain flight level 300.
Descend and maintain flight level 300, Rodeo 523.
So I can load that approach in anticipation of getting it. So if we go to our procedures, we've got no arrival. We'll just go back, do an approach. The RNAV Yankee, we can do the LPV, and we'll do it via CANEK. Load the approach, and then there we go. We go to the map, down. We haven't activated the approach yet, but so right now it's still going to the airport. So having that altitude of 9,400 at CANEK is going to help us with getting our descent going for the approach. And yeah, and then once we clear the approach, we can just activate the approach via CANEK and go from there. They might give us vectors too. We'll see when we get there. And we'll brief that when we get a little bit closer. So if you watched, I've been putting out a few videos on the Synoptic A220, and the last video I talked about LPV approaches and what's the difference between a regular GPS RNAV approach and an LPV approach. And basically, here I'll just get the chart here for the Navigraph chart for the approach. I'll just bring it up here. Yeah, so you have these RNAV approaches, and then you'll see different minimum at the bottom. And you have LNAV, and if you're doing LNAV only, then you are basically using an MDA, so you're not using a decision altitude. So you're basically stepping down at each safe altitude along the route, along the approach, to your a level altitude of 3380, which is basically from this point right here straight ahead. And that would be if you don't have VNAV capability on your system, so you just do an LNAV approach. If you have VNAV capability, then you can do the LNAV VNAV minimum approach, and you can see it'll take you down past that point and continue on a 3-degree glide path. In this case, pretty sure it's a 3 degrees right there. And you can do that down to minimums of this decision altitude. And that's a decision altitude, so you can fly right to that point, and then if you don't see anything, you just do the missed approach. But this one here, you have to be down and level at that point. Now LPV is a bit more accurate, and it can give you lower minimums. In this case, it's down to 300 feet above ground as opposed to 409. So it takes you a little bit lower. And the reason for that is there is a ground-based WAS system, which is wide area augmentation system, that augments the GPS signal with a ground-based signal to increase the accuracy of the GPS. And for that, you need to have a WAS receiver in your GPS in order to have that function. And if I go back to the chart here, you can see there's a WAS channel associated. So that's the WAS channel you would have to do, and you don't have to tune anything in your GPS if your GPS is WAS capable. When you load that approach, it'll automatically tune the applicable channel for you, and then you can use the LPV minimums for the approach. And I mentioned in the video for the A220 why you don't see WAS on many airliners. It's pretty common on these little GA airplanes because it's an added function. Like to buy this GPS with WAS, you probably add a cost to it. I don't know what the cost increase is, but it's totally worth it for this type of airplane to have that capability. When you're flying to these small airports that might not have ILS approaches, and then you have lower minimum capability. So totally worth the cost of adding WAS onto this aircraft. But if you're on an airliner, where most of the airports you fly to are larger airports, most of the runways are going to have ILS approaches. WAS is never going to be better than an ILS approach. So the cost to add WAS to your FMS in an airliner is probably cost prohibitive for most airlines. They just don't see the value of it for most of their operations. And so if you got an airline with 50 airplanes and you have to put WAS on every airplane, and it might prevent having 100-foot lower minimums at one airport that you fly to that doesn't have ILS, might prevent 1 or 2 diversions a year. And so, the huge cost of us adding that to an airline in terms of the equipment, the procedures, certification, all that stuff, training, it's cost prohibitive. Most airlines don't operate with WAS. I've never used it in an airliner, so. But definitely a nice feature to have on these little GA airplanes. It's basically almost giving you ILS capability minimums at most little airports that would only have RNF approaches. So that's WAS in a nutshell. I didn't realize it was so flat in this area here. Even though the elevation's pretty high. Could be an airport around here somewhere. . We'll go with this one here. That's almost 5,000 feet, 4,700 feet elevation. Yeah, so this whole plateau area is pretty high. But well south of the higher terrain. Yeah, still no VATSIM ATC, so I'm glad we kind of switched to beyond ATC here. Most likely won't have anything for the next leg either. So we'll see when we get to Boise. If anyone pops on, we'll go on to VATSIM. Checking our T's and P's, still looking good. Fuel's looking good. Side air temperature still 10. Coming up over ZELOR.
Salt Lake Center, SkyWest 129er Hotel. Good day, flight level 310.
SkyWest 129er Hotel, Salt Lake Center. Radar contact. SkyWest 4230. Contact Salt Lake Center 127.7.
Contact Salt Lake Center 127.7, SkyWest 4230. Have a good day.
Salt Lake Center, United 1717, leaving 16,400 for flight level 290.
United 1717, Salt Lake Center.
So basically, it's still showing full. So I'm guessing that full tanks, because we had 85 gallons aside, and it says 98 usable. So I'm guessing full on here doesn't represent 98 gallons, because we took off, we had only loaded 85 aside, so full must represent something lower than that. So I might have to look in the manual and see what that actually is.
Salt Lake Center, American 1974, leaving 5,500 feet for flight.
Now you do have the capability of going into your GTN here and seeing the fuel. We can see we have 147 gallons on board right now, so we just divide by 2. That should be 73 aside or 74 aside almost. Yeah, so I'm curious as to what that is. Might have to find the manual here for the plane and see what it says. BlackSquare Baron. I'll just put this off screen for now and just see if I can find it here. Because sometimes you'll have like a standard tank might be 70 gallons, and you can have like a larger tank put in, but the fuel gauges still only represent 70 gallons for a full tank. So here I got okay. Yeah, so it says in a normal Baron, each fuel tank has a capacity of 86 gallons with 83 usable gallons of a normally aspirated engine. So full would probably represent 83. And then says on the turbocharged variant, which we have, there's an extra 15 gallons of fuel stored in each wingtip of the turbocharged variant, and is not reflected in the instruments. The fuel totalizer of the EDM 750 can estimate the quantity of fuel in the remaining before the quantity comes within range of the fuel gauge. Okay, so let's just see if we can go through that. So we should have step through. If we can see a fuel remaining. Fuel flow. That's use fuel, remaining fuel, 145 gallons. And that's what we have up here too, yeah. So that is available through here too. So I'm assuming the GPS would be linked to this instrument to get that value up here. Okay, that's good to know. So that is only on the turbocharged variant, so I guess it has a little extra fuel bladders here at the wingtips. And just adds more fuel to your gauges, or to your engine, to your airplane, but it only registers the gauge, only shows up to, I think it's 84 gallons, or 83 gallons. 83 gallons usable in a normal airplane, yeah. Okay, learned something new about the Baron. And again, that was only on the turbocharged variant, which we have here. Uh, 244 is our course. Yeah, so this doesn't switch automatically, so you have to manually change it. That's our track up here, 244. Check the altimeter for this airport. Oh, no, sorry, back. Well, no, sorry, that's not an airport, that's the VOR. What do we got there? An airport coming up here. Falls Wartak. I think there's an airport under there too, though. There we go. Weather data there. Altimeter 3005. Oh, that's changed quite a bit. There we go. It's been pretty quiet on Beyond ATC. Not sure what's going on. Just do a radio check.
November 848 Delta, radio check.
November 848 Delta, 555.
Salt Lake Center, November 228 Charlie Golf, leaving flight level 194 for flight level 410.
November 228 Charlie Golf, Salt Lake Center, copy.
We finally got a decent temperature there. Have to leave that there for our next leg. Oxygen levels looking good. See our oxygen levels slowly coming down there. We zoom in on the gauge. We got a good PSI there. Anybody watching, let me know in the chat if you've flown any of the legs from this delivery flight so far.
SkyWest 3489, descend and maintain 7,000.
Descend and maintain 7,000, SkyWest 3489.
United 1717.
That was a good idea to fly up to Alaska. Lots of nice scenery to see on the way. So after we leave Walla Walla on the next trip, we'll probably just head up the coast to Washington State there and just fly up the coast of British Columbia till we hit Alaska, and then continue all the way up the coast to southern part of Alaska, like Anchorage area, and then we'll do a crossing right over Denali, straight up to Barrow. Well, if you're enjoying the flight so far, take time, hit that like. You can sign up for notifications, subscribe, and sign up for notifications, and you'll see the rest of the route that we're doing here in this Alaska delivery flight. Doesn't get much clearer than this. The forecast was a little bit hazy with smoke, so we got 6 miles, and FU is smoke.
Altitude. Descend and maintain 13,000.
Descend and maintain 13,000.
And I did see on the news this morning there's lots of forest fires in the Oregon, Washington State area. So that will probably explain that. So we'll see in the sim how much it simulates the smoke when we get there.
November 848 Delta, contact Salt Lake Center 118.05.
Contact Salt Lake Center 118.05, November 848 Delta, good day.
Frontier Flight 3934, contact Salt Lake Center 128.55. Contact Salt Lake Center 128.55, Frontier Flight 3934.
Salt Lake Center, November 848 Delta, 11,800 feet.
November 848 Delta, Salt Lake Center, copy.
Yeah, the Beyond ATC voice response is pretty fast. A lot faster than it was initially. They mentioned in the update that they had more voices and faster response times. It was nice to see that. Let me know in the chat or the comments if you use Beyond ATC, and if you do, how you like it. I kind of like it. It's not perfect, but it just adds a little bit of ambience to your flights. So if you're doing these type of flights where you don't have any VATSIM coverage and you want some ATC, it just gives you a little bit of real world ambience, even though it doesn't work 100% all the time. Yeah, we're just starting to see some movement on the gauges here. We got 140 gallons. Well, brief approach. We'll get the weather updated. Let's see right now what time is 10 after, so we should have the latest weather. Probably too far out to get the ATC for Boise, so put that in radio 2 so we can get it later on. So ATC is 23.9. Oops. Oh, sorry, that's the nav. What am I doing? That's gonna work. COM2 down here.
Contact Salt Lake Center 128.35. Center on 128.35, Southwest 1226. Take care.
And we can monitor number 2. See if we can pick it up. But oh. We have India. The winds are 310 at 9, 8 miles, sky clear, 24 degrees, 3005 on the altimeter. 9828 left and right, so I think we can safely say we'll probably get that. Yeah, it's pretty far out. I wonder how far we are from Boise. So this 50-mile ring. Yeah, we're probably a good, well, if I just do over here, so let's see if I put on Boise. It's 110 miles to there. Yeah, so we're over 100 miles. Up the ATC this far out, that's pretty good. Was kind of scratchy though. Our T's and P's are all good. Checklist ready for the descent checklist, so will be cowl flaps closed, which they are, throttles reduce, mixture will enrich, and we'll monitor T's and P's, and we want to make sure the cylinder head temperature does not go out of the green here, below 116. Yeah, so if you reduce your power too abruptly, you could cold shock your engine, so just want to do it nice and slow and just monitor your cylinder head temperature. Make sure it stays in this green band here as you're reducing power, just to prevent cold shocking your engine, which can do damage to the engine. Let me know in the chat or the comments too if you remember. So our final destination today is Walla Walla, Washington. I don't know if you remember the Bugs Bunny cartoon where he was doing the magic tricks there, and he could say different words. And one of the words he said to utter a magic spell was Walla Walla, Washington. I always remember that. And I couldn't believe it was a real place, but it is. That goes back a long way. That's a pretty old Bugs Bunny cartoon. It's funny, the silly things you remember. Turn up the sim sounds a little bit. I turned them down at the start there because we were outside, but that might improve the ATC sounds if it's a little bit low. I picked up this livery on FlightSim.to. I like the Baron livery with the old Beechcraft logo there. The only thing I'll say about the livery is the nose cone is just too clean. See nice dirt marks on the inner part of the wing, which would be normal. Little streaks and stuff here and there. But then this nose cone is just way too clean to be covered of bug smashes. Other than that, it's a nice livery. It's supposed to have another person in the plane too. I put 2 people in the plane. I'm not sure why the other person's not showing up. Could be something I've done in the settings there. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments what I've done wrong to not have my passenger show up in the plane. Probably changed something in a setting I didn't realize.
SkyWest 3489, Salt Lake Center. Radar contact, continue descent to flight level 270.
Continue descent to flight level 270, SkyWest 3489.
SkyWest 3489, amend altitude, climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290, SkyWest 3489.
So my last few videos have been flying the A220. Let me know if you've purchased that airplane, what you think of it. Put out a few tutorials on it. I was fortunate enough to be able to do some beta testing on it, so I was able to get a little bit of experience flying it. And yeah, it was definitely a fun airplane to fly. It does have a few bugs with it though. Seems these days nobody can put out an airplane bug-free on its initial release. So, but I know they're working hard at fixing them. But yeah, definitely a fun plane to learn to fly. Quite a bit different than what I was used to. It's nice in this gym just to look around at the scenery as you're flying by. Just like you would in the real world. We're coming up here. Got a big rail line coming down. Could be along here, probably. Or maybe back here. Probably through this town here, I'd say. The reservoir is off to the right. There's one there. Got some traffic coming up behind us here. What he's doing. Or a traffic map, and kind of just see that. It's 1,000 feet above us. Looks like he's going to go in behind us. So this is his direction he's pointing. And his track vector is going like this because we're going this way. So even though he's flying like this, his actual track vector is going to follow behind us there. So, and he's climbing.
Contact Big Sky approach 119.6. Contact Big Sky approach SkyWest 3773. See you.
Yeah, nice feature to have for sure. This traffic radar or traffic fiction here. Yeah, so you see him pop up on here. You just go into the traffic map. You get a little bit more information on what's going on. Not sure if the 650 has a track. Yeah, you can put it down here too. Just need to scale out a bit. There he is there. Okay, I think we'll brief the approach now. Since we got lots of time here. We might get vectors for the visual or vectors for this approach. We'll see what we get. But so we're coming into Boise. We're planning the, it'll be the visual backed up by the RNAV Yankee 28 right. It's going to be a WAS-enabled approach. Final approach course is 282 crossing the FAF at zip at 6,000 feet, and then from there it's a 3-degree glide path. So there's your 3 degrees down to LPV minimums of 3121, which is 250 feet. So we can put that in the rattle. Just give us a little ding there when we're on final. Don't really need it, but that's the minimums. Airport elevation is touchdown elevation is 2871. Missed approach is climbing straight ahead to 6,000 feet direct to atoll and hold. Continue to climb at 6,000 feet. So there's a hold, publish hold there. So we'll do that if we need to, or we can just stay visual and come back around for the next approach. Go to the airport map here. And if we touch down on 28 left or right, we can exit at Echo, and I think we won't request taxi to parking. We'll just taxi into here because we're not going to shut down. We're just going to reprogram for the next flight, and then when we're ready to go, we'll get our clearance. We'll taxi out Bravo 1 for 28 left departure. Runways are long, We got 10,070, 97.63, so no issues with the runway. And the weather is good. So that's the plan. Like I said, it could be vectors for the visual or vectors for the straight-in approach, or hopefully by the approach via the initial fix there. We can just brief that as well, just to cover that off. Yeah, so I put 9,400 at CANEK here. That's above the min safe altitude, which is based on the runway. And we have, once we're inside CANEK, we can go to 7,800, and then inside of ZELOR, we can go to 6,800. And then inside of IRUs, we can go down to 63, and then 6,000 to 6-zip, and then we'll intercept the glide path from there. Those are the step downs. I think that's all we need. So before we get going, we're busy here. My trusty co-pilot will do the ATC, so I'm just going to
Salt Lake Center, SkyWest 4948.
get in a quick bathroom break here before we get busy. I'll be right back.
4948 Salt Lake Center, climb maintain flight level 360.
Climb maintain flight level 360, SkyWest 4948.
November 848 Delta, leave CANEK heading 2907 direct Boise Air Terminal going field.
Leave CANEK heading 2907, direct Boise Air Terminal going field, November 848 Delta.
Well, I hadn't left yet, but it's a good thing I heard that. So it's leave CANEK heading 297, so they're going to give us vectors there. So we still got a little ways to go to there. So yeah, I'm going to just get a quick bathroom break in, and I'll be right back. Okay, back with you. Yeah, so leaving CANEK at heading 297, so I guess we're going to get vectors for the probably the visual approach. So I'll start down even a little bit earlier, so just as we're getting to the top of descent. I'll west descent, we can just do nice vertical speed descent. So 284 is our track. We got a little bit of a crosswind there. bug centered. We can get an updated altimeter here.
SkyWest 4948, contact Salt Lake Center 121.15. Have a good afternoon. Contact Salt Lake Center 121.15, SkyWest 4948.
3000.
FlexJet 200, contact Salt Lake Center 125.925. Center on 125.925, FlexJet 200. Have a good afternoon.
We should get handed over to Boise approach. Let's see. We go down to the info. Let's see if we can find that here in these frequencies. Boise. Boise approach 19.6 or 26.9. In the chart, what they have. Boise approach 19.6, so put that in. That'll be our next frequency. I'll go on sim brief and I'll run my next flight plan so it's ready to go. From Boise to Walla Walla. And by the time we get on the ground, say leaving about 10 after the hour. Write that flight plan so it's ready to go when we get there. So we have that ready to go. Yeah, so we'll just land. We're not going to shut down. We're just going to get our next clearance. Now, what I would probably do in real life is, if I wanted to just shoot an approach in Boise for practice and then continue on to Walla Walla, is I would just file a one continuous flight plan to Walla Walla with a and just file to the Boise VOR or something like that as part of the route, so that we're going to fly right over Boise. And then I just requested en route, in the remarks, I just requested en route approach into Boise for practice and add 20 minutes to my flight plan or something like that. That's usually how you do en route approaches. You just file a flight plan to your destination, and then you can request an en route approach at any airport you want en route.
We have someday old stale coffee if you want some. I'm on a 7-hour shift. Might take you up on that.
A nice little bit of banter there with Beyond ATC. Yeah, but you can't make that work in the Beyond ATC, so we'll have to do just 2 separate flight plans and then just land. We refile the next flight plan. We'll just reload beyond ATC with the new flight plan. Actually, it's just got a button in there. You can just load next flight plan and then you're good to go. So you don't even have to shut it off, shut it down. Okay, we're going to get our descent here soon. Let's just recheck the ATIS, make sure it hasn't changed.
03, altimeter 3002, landing and departing runway
November 848 Delta, expect runway 28 left.
Runway 28 left, November 848 Delta.
November 848 Delta, contact Big Sky approach 119.6.
Contact Big Sky approach November 848. Big Sky approach November 848 Delta. Good afternoon. 1,900 feet with information Juliet.
November 848 Delta, Big Sky approach, altimeter 3002, expect the visual approach runway 28 left.
Altimeter 3002, expect the visual approach runway 28 left, November 848 Delta.
Okay, so we can put in 3002, so 3002 is set. And we can do it over here as well. So it is set. Radar vectors for the visual. We could ask for the approach. Request an approach change, so we can ask for the...
November 848 Delta, request approach change.
November 848 Delta, roger, say approach.
Request the RNAV Yankee 28 left.
Request RNAV Yankee runway 28 left, November 848 Delta.
November 848 Delta, confirm to approach RNAV Yankee runway 28 left.
Affirmative, November 848 Delta.
November 848 Delta, Big Sky approach, altimeter 3002, expect the RNAV Yankee runway 28 left via CANEK.
Altimeter 3002, expect the RNAV Yankee runway 28 left via CANEK, November 848 Delta.
Oh, perfect.
November 848 Delta, cleared direct CANEK, cross CANEK at or above 9,000, cleared RNAV Yankee runway 28 left.
Cleared direct CANEK, cross CANEK at or above 9,000. Cleared RNAV Yankee runway 28 left, November 848 Delta.
Okay, we're cleared direct CANEK, so now in order to make the approach, so yeah, that's a nice job beyond ATC. You did exactly what I wanted, so we're cleared direct CANEK 9,000 or above, so I put 9,000 in. We're already direct CANEK now, but now I can activate the approach, and that should reset direct CANEK and make the approach active. So there we go. Now we have the approach active. So now you can see it's going to go follow the waypoints inbound. That looks good. We can start a nice descent. So right now we can go 600 feet per minute. So let's just do our descent checklist real quick here. Descent, cowl flaps are closed, throttles will reduce, mixture, we'll enrich the mixtures, engine performance monitor, and we'll watch cylinder head temperatures. Okay, so I'm going to go down 9,000, we'll set a vertical speed, we'll engage, we'll go down at about 700 feet a minute. And I'll bring the power back just to keep the speed around 170 or so. Okay, looking good. So little banana bar is showing we're going to hit 9,000 right at CANEK, so that's good. I love the vertical speed. You just do it at vertical speed here, and works great for your vertical profile. Next checklist is going to be the approach checklist. So seatbelts will say are on, fuel selectors are on, oxygen, we can shut it off because we're going into descent here. Pitot heat's not required, windshield heat's not required, prop heat is not required, air conditioning is off, cowl flaps as required, mixtures are max power, and then flaps approach will be when we get a little closer in. bit slow. I can speed up a little bit here. We'll change the ridge descent to 600. And it's nice we can see all our next altitudes, so 7,800 for the next one in there. So once we're clear for the approach, just monitor to these altitudes all the way in.
Leave the CAC heading 080, expect radar vectors for visual approach.
You can see on the chart, there's the 7,800 for that leg, so yeah, so we'll just use the map for those altitudes. We'll just work our way down. And we'll eventually arm the approach. Should be good.
Exec jet 9 of 60, turn left, heading 325, vectors for the approach.
Turn left heading 325, exec jet 9 of 60.
It's 10 for 9.
Big Sky approach.
Got our lane lights on.
Good afternoon, flight level 184. We have Juliet on board.
Sort of 90, Big Sky approach, altimeter 3002, expect the visual approach, runway 28 right.
Altimeter 3002. Expect the visual approach. Runway 28 right. Salt of 90.
American 1531, reduce speed 180 knots. Reduce
And we'll go down to 700 feet a minute.
American 1531.
Just confirm we still have 9,000 in there. So I think we're going to be okay for the 9. We'll just make sure. And 7,800 is our next altitude, so I'll just dial that down. Should see the airport over there somewhere. A little ways out, it's a long approach though. Okay, so 7,800 is our next altitude. 700 feet per minute, it's looking good.
Exec jet 9 or 60, airport is at your 12 o'clock, 7 miles. Report the field in sight.
We have the field, exec jet 9.
Vertical track.
Airport might be over here somewhere.
Cleared visual approach, runway 28 left.
Clear visual approach 28 left, exec jet 9 of 60.
Okay, perfect. We got our course
Exec jet 9
flight
or
path
60,
in there.
contact Boise Tower 118.1.
Contact tower 118.1, exec jet 9 of 60, take care.
Okay, track is 342. Put that in.
American 1531, resume normal speed.
Resume normal speed, American 1531.
And we're going to be fine for 7,800, our next altitude. See what that is here in a minute. And our next track is 289, 298. Good down to 6,800 feet. We'll put that in 68. Come up on 1,000 to go for that. 700 feet per minute is still good. And then we make one more turn on the final. Get the chart again, just double check. Yeah, looking good. 68, and then our final course is 282. And then we can level off at 6 and then intercept the glide path and then just fly the glide path in. 68 down to 63 down to 6. We can even level off at 68, and the glide path will keep us above these altitudes. Start bringing the power back. So review our speeds, so we can lower the gear at, so gear extensions 152 and flaps approach is at 152 as well, and then for the flaps full extend is 122. So that's our little 152. So when we can put the gear down, so below 150 we'll be able to put the gear down and the flaps approach. Okay, let's put the course up 282. That's 283 on here, but that's fine. Capture the altitude. And we go down to 63. Go vertical speed again. See our glide path is coming in there. So we'll just level off at 63 and capture it. Should be handed over to tower here soon. You see the airport straight ahead. Yeah, it is kind of hazy. Just kind of see that smoke layer. Can't quite see it yet, so I'm going to arm the approach since we're right on the glide path. So approach is armed. We should just follow the glide path now. We're bringing the power back so we can get our gear. Just watching my cylinder head temperature. Try to keep it in the green there. And speed's coming back. We're below 150. Hit the gear and approach flap.
November 848 Delta, contact Boise Tower 118.1.
Contact Tower 118.1, November 848 Delta. Have a good afternoon.
So we got the gear down through
Boise
green,
Tower,
approach flap.
November 848 Delta.
Pictures
Our
are
nav
full.
Yankee runway 28
Props will
left.
get full. Prop sync off.
November 848 Delta, Boise Tower, wind 300 at 14, runway 28 left, clear to land.
Runway 28 left, clear to land, November 848 Delta.
There, we can see the runways there now. Just barely, almost looks like we're lined up for 28 right, but I'm just going to double check we got the right approach in here. Procedure. Oh, we do have ILS 28 right. Ooh, big mistake. So I'm going to just request the, I would request the visual at this point right now. And then we'll just line up visually for the 28 left approach. Just caught that on time. I'm just going to line up visually on the other runway there. So my mistake there was I didn't verify the waypoints and altitudes, and I know I'm doing a visual approach, but you should still be verifying that stuff before you use the approach as a backup. I'm just going to parallel it here, looking good. You can see the two runways there, so we're just going to kind of line up for the left one. And I'm going to get rid of my flight director because it's just distracting. And let's go to get the approach checklist is complete. Landing lights are on, fuel selectors are good. Landing, propellers high, make sure it's full. Flaps is required, gears down and locked. Autopilot disconnected. Looks good. We'll line up for that 3 left. We're clear to land. Yeah, so something just didn't seem right when I looked ahead. I go, Jesus, looked like we're lined up for that right side. Okay, we're below 122, so we can get full flap anytime. In real life, ATC might have never realized that either, till because look how close these runways are together. You could be just a little bit off track. And
500.
Boise Tower, American 1531, visual runway 28 left.
we get full flap.
American 1531, Boise Tower, continue.
Laying for about 100 knots, getting a little bit low.
1531.
And looking good. Flaps are full. Okay, start bleeding the speed off. A nice smooth touchdown. Back on the brakes.
November 848 Delta, exit left at Gulf.
Exit left at Gulf, November 848 Delta.
Echo. Gulf's a little further up there, so we'll take Gulf just up ahead. Yeah, welcome to Boise. Well, that was a good save there, picking that up. Incorrect runway, we had approach loaded. So note to self, don't forget to verify your waypoints and altitudes even when you're doing a visual approach in BMC conditions.
American 1531, go around. Fly the published missed approach procedure.
Going around. Fly the published missed approach procedure. American 1531.
Lots of A10s there.
1531, contact Big Sky approach 119.6. Talk to you in a minute.
Contact Big Sky approach 119.6, American 1531.
See, if she had asked me to exit at the other exit, we would have got off soon enough for that guy to not have to go around. I wonder if they still fly A10s here in the real life.
November 848 Delta, contact ground 121.7.
Ground 121.7, November 848 Delta.
Okay, parking brakes off. I'm gonna just reduce the mixtures here. Get the lane light off, strobe light off. We'll get the flaps up. And I'll just see where they're going to park us here. We can request parking at Southwest 6, so we'll request parking.
November 848 Delta, request taxi to the ramp.
November 848 Delta, welcome to Boise Air Terminal. Safe parking or advise if need assignment.
Take the Southwest.
Request ramp
down here.
SW1 November 848 Delta.
So just over here.
November 848 Delta, say again, ramp number.
Request ramp SW1 November 848 Delta.
November 848 Delta, say again, ramp number.
Oh, they don't
Request
have
ramp
it, so
November 1 November 848 Delta.
we'll just park
November
ourselves.
848 Delta, taxi to ramp November 1 via Golf, hold short of runway 28 right.
Taxi to ramp November 1 via Golf, hold short of runway 28 right, November 848 Delta.
So we'll just park down here on our own. They're not. I don't have the parking up spots done correctly here, so. We're not going to shut down, we're just going to reprogram here real quick and pick up our next flight plan. Now we're a Beechcraft, but we can park at the Piper spot here. We'll just park right here. Okay, set our parking brake. Let's do our checks. So we're post-flight, after landing. Cowl flaps, we can open them up. Flaps are up, lights are off. Ice protection is all off. Air conditioning, cabin heat we don't need. Let's make sure the heater is off. And then we'll do the shutdown. So parking brake set. We're going to leave everything on. Actually, we're not going to do the shutdown, so we'll go back to the
SkyWest 3095, gate Charlie 9, request pushback.
or takeoff checklist. We'll redo that again. So
SkyWest
reset
3095, Boise ground,
these
pushback
checklists.
and engine start approved.
We'll
Take
reset them
southwest.
all.
Pushback
and
and
we'll be
engine
doing the
start
before
approved.
takeoff
Take
checklist again.
southwest, SkyWest 3095.
Okay, so I'll put the flaps set down for approach. For takeoff, we have lots of fuel, 3/4 of a tank. We got our fuel remaining. We'll import my next flight plan. And we have fuel required 447 pounds. Go back to here, we go back to utilities, fuel, and we have 114 gallons times 6, so we have over 600 pounds of gas, so we're good for the fuel. And let's go back to flight plan, and we'll go to menu, and we can delete the flight plan, and that looks good. So we'll go to flight plan, we'll add KBOI. Get our flight plan up here just to enter it in. We're going direct OLAAH, OLAAH, PREIS, PREIS, BKE, VOR, Baker City, That's the one we want, not in Australia. And ALW should be Walla Walla. Walla Walla WA. And then KALW. Okay, that's our flight plan. We'll get ATC running for our next route here. And we'll just zoom out, make sure that looks reasonable. Yep, so out of Boise, OLAAH BKE Walla Walla. Perfect.
Beyond ATC.
Map settings. I'm gonna take the terrain off for now. Just leave it on topo. Okay, so we'll get the ATIS again here in a minute.
Terminal Ground FLD Airport Information Uniform 2102 Visibility 5, Sky Condition Clear, Temperature 27, Dew point 02, Altimeter 3000, Landing and Departing Runways 28 left, 28 right, advise on initial contact, you have information uniform.
Okay, so we got uniform.
Boise.
We'll go to ground. We're on ground, and we'll request our get our clearance, or we probably have a clearance delivery frequency here. We'll get that from the chart. Boise clearance 25.9. Okay, there we go.
SkyWest 4661, a ramp need to...
What's our IFR clearance?
Boise clearance, November 848 Delta, ramp SW6, ready to copy IFR clearance to Walla Walla with information uniform.
November 848 Delta, Boise clearance, cleared to Walla Walla Airport. Radar vectors OLAAH, Dennis filed. Maintain 7,000 feet. Expect 12,000 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.9er. Squawk 3002.
Cleared to Walla Walla Airport. Radar vectors OLAAH, Dennis filed. Maintain 7,000 feet. Expect 12,000 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.9er. Squawk 3002, November 848 Delta.
November 848 Delta, read back correct. Contact ground 121.7 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Ground 121.7 when ready, November 848 Delta. Have a good afternoon.
Okay, I'm gonna get the AC going here. It's getting pretty hot sitting here in the sun. Just a little bit of power up to get the AC working properly.
Allegiance 1591, Gate Bravo 16, request
Your air conditioning door. Okay, so we are cleared. So we'll be runway headed in 7,000 feet. Radar vectors to OLAAH, our first fix. Initial track is going to be 315.
SkyWest 4661, request taxi to the active.
SkyWest 4661, runway 28 right taxi via November Alpha.
And runway heading
right taxi via
is
November Alpha, SkyWest 4661.
.282, I think, 283. So that's good. Heading's good.
SkyWest 3095.
Runway heading 7,000, expect 12,000 10 minutes after departure. Radar vectors to OLAAH, our first fix, so that's our departure. We're back all ready to go.
SkyWest 4661, good day.
We got flaps at approach. Visually check that. And yeah, I think we're all set to go, so let's just do a quick... we don't need to do a run up again, so before takeoff, mixtures will get max. We'll do this just before we get clear for takeoff, so we'll call for startups.
November 848 Delta, ramp SW6, request engine start.
November 848 Delta, startup approved, call when ready for taxi.
Wilco, engine start approved, November 848 Delta.
Okay, so we're down here.
Request taxi to the active.
And we'll We'll probably taxi Bravo out for 28 left.
Runway 28 right, taxi via Alpha. Runway 28 right, taxi via Alpha to Legion 1591.
November 848 Delta, request taxi.
November 848 Delta, runway 28 left, taxi via Kilo Bravo.
Runway 28 left via Kilo Bravo, November 848 Delta.
So Kilo Bravo all the way down, and there's no VATSIM ATC on, so I'm still going to use the Beyond ATC here. So we got our taxi light on.
SkyWest 3095, request taxi.
Parking brakes released.
SkyWest 3095, runway 28 right, taxi via Alpha.
Brakes are good.
Right via Alpha, SkyWest
Air conditioning is working nice to get us cooled off here. So here's Kilo. Right here on Bravo. Yeah, selecting the wrong runway there, that's definitely a mistake that's easy to make. I've seen it happen in real life. But usually you have two pilots in the airplane, especially in the airline world, and one of you picks that up, so you load the wrong approach. You verify waypoints and altitudes, and that's when you usually pick up the wrong approach. And even if you don't, because approaches are so similar, especially on these parallel runways, so you can easily load in the wrong approach. But usually, like I said, verifying waypoints and altitudes on the flight plan page compared to the approach page. But that doesn't do you any good if you load up the wrong approach page as well. We've cooled the plane down pretty good. I'm going to shut the AC off because we have to have it off for the takeoff anyway. So AC is off. We can do our pre-flights or mixtures. We'll go full. All temperatures, T's and P's are all in the green. Boost pumps are off. Air conditioning is off. Landing lights we'll get on. Transponder we can go to alt on. And weather radar we'll leave off. We don't need that for today. Make sure my trim is reset properly. Whoops.
SkyWest 3095, contact Boise Tower 118.1.
Over to Tower 118.1, SkyWest 3095. Have a good afternoon.
Okay, so we're right at the end, left turn, and
November 848 Delta, contact Boise Tower 118.1. Have a good afternoon.
Over to Tower
Just to the left here.
118.1, November 848 Delta, see you.
yeah, I think we're all ready to go.
Ready for departure. Runway 28 right.
SkyWest 3095, hold short of runway 28 right.
Hold short of runway 28 right. SkyWest 3095.
SkyWest 3095, runway 28 right, line up and wait.
Runway 28 right. Line up and wait. SkyWest 3095.
SkyWest 3095, Boise Tower, fly heading 160, runway 28 right, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 160, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff. SkyWest 3095.
There's a SkyWest.
Allegiant 1591, contact Big Sky departure. Contact Big Sky departure. Allegiant 1591, have a good afternoon.
Okay, we'll call ready for departure.
November 848 Delta, ready for departure, runway 28 left.
November 848 Delta, Boise Tower, fly heading 280, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 280, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff, November 848 Delta.
So heading 280, clear takeoff, we got him visual. So we'll get the strobe light on. Landing lights on. Don't need our pitot heat or anything, so we're good to go. And runway 28 left, confirmed.
Boise Tower, Southwest 3755. Visual runway.
Winds right down the runway.
Southwest 3755, Boise Tower, continue.
Roger.
Nice
Southwest
power.
3755.
T's and P's are all good.
Skywest 3095, contact Big Sky departure. Have a good afternoon.
Contact
85
Big Sky
knots.
departure, SkyWest 3095.
How's the ray gear up?
Southwest 3755.
Speed
runway
100,
28
flaps
right,
up.
Clear to land.
Runway 28 right, clear to land. Southwest 3755.
And flaps are up, gears up. And runway heading up to 7,000. Okay, I'll just bring the props back to 25. Leave the manifold pressures at full there.
November 848 Delta, contact Big Sky departure.
Contact Big Sky departure, November 848 Delta. Big Sky departure, November 848 Delta, leaving 3,800 feet for 7,000.
November 848 Delta, Big Sky departure. Good afternoon. Radar contact. Climb maintain 10,000 feet. Altimeter 3000.
Climb maintain 10,000 feet, altimeter 3000, November 848 Delta.
10,000, altimeter
November
still set.
848 Delta, turn right heading 290.
Turn right, heading 290, November 848 Delta.
290.
November 848 Delta, turn right heading 315.
Turn right, heading 315, November 848 Delta.
315. Get our cruise climb going here. We did the takeoff. We'll do the en route climb. So mixture is still full. Props 25. 36 it says on the manifold, so we'll just do 36 for the cruise climb. Cowl flaps as required. I'll leave them open for now. Air conditioning is off. Cabin heater. We'll get it when we get to altitude. Oxygen, we'll get that when we get to altitude. And engine performance check. So looking good. We'll get the autopilot. Flight director, select heading mode, and we're doing about 1,000 feet per minute, so I will go to vertical speed, about 1,100, I'll engage that. That will arm our capture for the altitude. And we're looking good. He's probably going to give us direct OLAAH there, so we'll just do that for now, just recenter the track bar, but that looks good. 318. But we're still in heading select mode. Okay, looking good.
November 848 Delta, contact Salt Lake Center 118.05.
Center on 118.05, November 848 Delta. Salt Lake Center, November 848 Delta through 7,200 for 1010,000.
November 848 Delta, Salt Lake Center, climb maintain 12,000.
Climb maintain 12,000, November 848 Delta.
Okay, up to 12,000. I got my new banner up there with the new destination.
November 848 Delta, clear direct OLAAH. Resume O navigation.
Roger, heading direct OLAAH, then resume O navigation, November 848 Delta, thanks.
Okay, direct OLAAH. Activate, and we will select nav. Good to go.
Salt Lake Center, Alaska 1606, good afternoon. Leaving 15,600, descending via settle for arrival, runway 28 left.
Okay, temperature's cooling off. I'll get the cowl flaps closed.
Alaska 1606, contact Big Sky approach 119.6.
Contact Big Sky approach, Alaska 1606.
Get my props back up to 2,500 here. This turbocharged airplane's really nice. It can maintain a pretty good climb rate all the way up, even at these higher altitudes, because you have that turbocharger. Allows you to get the full manifold pressure up to high teens, I think, like 18,000 feet or so. It's 10,000 feet. I'll get the lane lights off. Let's put our oxygen on. Temperature is cooling off, so we'll get the heater on low again. Leave it right where, a little bit in maybe. This leg is just under an hour, so it should be a nice quick flight. Looks like they're using runway 20 in Walla Walla. The weather there was 240 at 10, gusting 14. Clear skies and good visibility. 1,000 to go.
Flight level 269er. November 526 Charlie Foxtrot, Salt Lake Center, radar contact.
Again, we'll level off at 12, let the speed increase, and then we'll bring our mixtures back. I'll keep 3,500 for the manifold pressure. 35 side. We'll set 35. Altitude is captured. We'll start leaning the mixtures back here a little bit. I'm going to lean find. Just bring it back slowly until we get our peaks.
Salt Lake Center, SkyWest 3095, 11,000.
SkyWest 3095, Salt Lake
Peak on
Center.
the left.
Climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290, SkyWest 3095.
Bring them up to about minus 30. Okay, that should be good, and we got our fuel flow just around 19, same as last time there. Okay, perfect. So let's do our cruise checklist. Cowl flaps are closed, landing lights are off, heat is not required. Windshield heat not required, propeller heat not required, de-ice not required, fuel balance right on 3/4 aside, that's good. Fixtures are lean, props 2500, throttles, we're going 35 just for a little bit more speed. Cabin heat is on, air conditioning is off, or sorry, yeah, so cabin heat is on, and engine performance will monitor. Well, I'm pretty sure they don't have parallel runways in Walla Walla, so we wouldn't make that same mistake. Let's just look at the chart here.
1591, contact Salt Lake Center 128.0.
This is one runway, and they're landing on 20.
Salt Lake Center 128.05, Allegiant 1591.
And we're flying right to the VOR overhead the field, so we'll probably do a full procedure approach for landing in Walla Walla, just to see how that works. Do a VOR approach or something like that, not using the GPS. Yeah, if you want to get the airport for Walla Walla, it's available on flightsim.to. I included a link in the description. It's a nice little freeware airport. So I'll try to use as many freeware airports as I can for this trip. That Boise was a payware airport, though. I just happen to have it, so. Nice airport if you want to pick it up, if you like doing some regional flights in and out of that area. Probably a good place to fly the new A220 if you have that. Look at the Boise Airport on flight radar here, see what kind of flights I have out of there. Embraer jets, 737s, lots of Embraers. Yeah, Delta flies the A220 out of here to Salt Lake, so might have to try that flight sometime. Actually, that'd be a good little flight. Okay, so we're cruising. This is not a super long leg. Like I said, it's just under an hour. So let's see what our approach options are. So we're not doing an arrival, so the approach options are, we've got an RNAV 20 or a VOR 20. That's all we have, really. RNAV 20, VOR 20. Oh, an ILS 20 as well. Okay. Yeah, so let's take a look at the VOR approach. So go to the charts here. VOR runway 20. So our last fix is the Walla Walla VOR. We're coming in from this direction, so that's almost perfect, so we can just do the full procedure VOR for runway 20. So we come outbound overhead the VOR, And then or we can go direct Trina. We can go outbound the VOR to Trina.
November 848 Delta, contact Salt Lake Center 128.05.
And do your procedure turn.
Contact Salt Lake Center 128.05, November 848 Delta. Have a
And
good
back
afternoon.
inbound 3200. It's got
Salt Lake
a
Center, November 848 Delta 12,000.
November 848 Delta, Salt Lake Center, roger.
it's just got MDA, so you just once you're inside the Jaws boat, you descend down to your MDA altitude of 1760 and level off, and then about 1.6 back, you look, that's your visual descent profile for landing on the runway.
Flight level 250.
Yeah, so we can do this one. I think we'll request that.
250, SkyWest 3892.
So procedure, I'll load up the VOR approach,
Altitude, climb and maintain flight level 280.
and we'll do it by
Climb and maintain flight
Walla
level
Walla
280,
VOR,
SkyWest 3892.
and we'll load the approach.
November 848 Delta, leave Baker City heading 331 direct Walla Walla Airport.
Leave Baker City heading 331 direct Walla Walla Airport, November 848 Delta.
So that was leave BKE heading 331. Okay. Radar vectors for the approach. That's still a ways out for that, so we still got.
6 Alpha Tango, contact Salt Lake Center.
Well, that is our next fix, so yeah.
Center on 118.05, November 586 Alpha Tango.
So let's update our course here. So we're doing 299. We got a wind from the right, so that makes sense. Okay, and BKE is in 17 minutes. So they want us to leave that heading 331. Expect radar vectors, but once we get closer, we'll request an approach change to the VOR by the
November 711, November Victor 1717,000.
Walla Walla VOR here.
And 711 NV, November 711, November Victor, Salt Lake Center. SkyWest 3892, contact Salt Lake Center 121.15, take care.
Contact Salt
So
Lake
let's go
Center
back and get the
121.15,
ATIS.
SkyWest 3892.
ATIS is 35875. Nope. 1-3-5-8-7-5. Probably not a comm frequency, that's probably why it gave me that little warning. Let's go into the flight plan. So this is a good way to do it with these two systems here. So we can go back here. That's what I should have done on the first one. So we're going BKE, then Walla Walla, and for the approach. Oh, I haven't loaded the approach, probably that's why. Procedure, approach. The VOR 20 by KLW. Let's load that. There we go. Okay, so let's get the chart back up here. VOR 20. Okay, so let's go through and verify this down. So we got the Walla Walla VORs to start, and it doesn't have an altitude because it's just the start of the approach. And then Trina is at 5,200 feet. And I don't see look and see where that altitude comes from. It's right here, 5,200 feet. So from Walla Walla to Trina is 5,200 feet or above, so that's good. And then we've got, this keeps moving on me, but we've got procedure turn at 4,900 feet, yep. Then we've got Trina inbound to 3,200 feet. And then we've got Jawsbow at 2,140 or above. And then we've got the misapproach point, which is the runway. So the runway is the misapproach point. So we go down to our minimums of 1760 inside of Jawsbow. We level off at that altitude, and then we'll round that up to 1,800 feet, and then we'll at about 2.6 DME back, we're looking for a visual descent point for the 3-degree glide slope to the runway, and we'll just take it in visually from there. So this time we got all the waypoints and altitudes visual, or for the. And then the misapproach is climb straight ahead, right turn 5100 to Trina, and hold at Trina. 5100 feet at Trina and hold at Trina. Okay, perfect. So everything is verified there. We can tune the VOR 116.4, and that's there. Put that in. That's the ALW VOR is identified. Okay, so the approach has been verified. Now we can come down and let's see if we can get an ATIS. Not picking anything up yet.
And 711 NB November 711 November Victor. Contact Salt Lake Center 121.15.
Contact Salt Lake Center 121.15 and 711 NB November 711 November Victor.
So that's just an AWAS, so we might not get it here in the sim actually. So we'll just go on and get the weather for Walla Walla with the viewpoint info, airport, Walla Walla, weather. So the winds are variable of 4 knots, gusting 15, 10 miles, clear, temperature 23, altimeter 3008. Okay, so let's figure out where we need to start our descent. So let's brief the approach. going to be the visual backed up by this approach because the weather is nice. But so we're coming in, we're into Baker City. Our track is going to be 331. Coming in from the south. To the chart here. We're going to be coming in from this direction here, 331. So the safe altitude is 7,600 feet within 25 miles. So I'm going to put Walla Walla at 7,600 feet to give us a top of descent. So if I go to the flight plan, right now we have just 10,000 feet here, but I'm going to put 7,600. And that will be the altitude we're safe to go down to for the approach. We'll enter that. So at 7,600, we'll save that. Now that should give us a top of descent in 26 minutes. So we have a top of descent here. That'll get us down to start the procedure for the approach. Okay, so we'll brief that approach then. So it'll be the visual backed up by the VOR DME. So we got the VOR tuned, and we have to have the underlying approach. We're going to use the GPS, but we have the underlying approach here. So we have DME 1 when we pick it up, and we should pick the needle up as well for when we get a little closer. So we're coming in, we'll overtop the VOR, we'll go outbound. Once we cross Trina, we can descend down to 4,900 feet. Once we're inbound to Trina, we can go down to 52, then 49 for the procedure turn. So we'll go outbound. GPS will just do this, so GPS will go outbound, but if we're doing it by timings, we do about 45 seconds outbound, turn back, intercept the inbound. Once you're established inbound, within 10 miles, you can go down to 32, and then down to 2140, and then down to your minimums of 1760. You're looking to get visual at about 2.6 DME, and if you have the runway in sight, you can land. We're going to be visual, obviously, so at 2.6 DME, we'll just transition to the visual, and then we'll touch down and land on runway 26. If we do have to go around, we'll just go straight ahead up to 2,300 feet and a climbing right turn back to the Trina outer marker and hold as published. So the hold up right at the outer marker there. So that is the approach brief. So we have all that set up. Let's just look at the map to see where we're going to be parking. So we're landing on 20, it's 6,500 foot runway, and general aviation parking is down here. Well, it's all over the ramp, so FBO right here, so probably up here. So we'll land here. We should be able to make Alpha 3, probably taxi up this way and park up there for parking. So get the approach back up so we have it ready to go. So that is the approach brief complete. Descent start in about 20 minutes. Right now they got us flying that heading 331 from BKE, so we'll see. We can let them know we want to do the VOR approach before that. Getting a little bit greener here as we get up into the Washington State area, Oregon, Washington State area, I think we're getting into. Yeah, still no ATC and VATSIM.
Salt Lake Center, N711, NV November 711, November Victor, flight level 280.
So I'm just kind of trying to figure out where we're going to go from here. So if I look at the, we're going to be heading up to Walla Walla here.
November 848 Delta, expect runway 20.
Runway 20, November 848 Delta.
We're going to be up here, Walla Walla. And I think the next flight we could probably just keep going northwest. And Bowerman Field is just outside of, just on the coast outside of Seattle. So it's a great little freeway airport there. And then from there we can do the next leg up to Nanaimo on Vancouver Island. Has a, it's up in this area here. Has a great freeway airport as well. So I think that's what we'll look at for the next trip. Should be about probably an hour and a half, hour 45 up to Bowerman, and then up to Nanaimo, less than an hour. So that'll be a good couple of legs to do in the next one. Try to go VFR and then IFR, maybe combination. Well, I'll see if we can request a an approach change. See if they'll give it to us.
November 848 Delta, request approach change.
November 848 Delta, roger, say approach.
VOR 20.
Request VOR runway 20, November 848 Delta.
November 848 Delta, confirm new approach VOR runway 20.
Affirmative, November 848 Delta.
November 848 Delta, altimeter 3008, expect radar vectors for VOR runway 20.
Altimeter 3008, expect radar vectors for VOR runway 20, November 848 Delta.
Okay, well we can do that. I know. Beyond ATC probably is not set up to do procedure turns and stuff like that. So we can get radar vectored. So we'll do that. So we'll still, once we hit Bowerman here, we'll fly the heading 331, and then radar vectors for the approach is not a big deal. We can just set an inbound course.
Delta, turn right, heading 335.
Turn right, heading 335, November 848 Delta.
Okay, so we're heading centered. We go heading select and right to 335. Yeah, so we can just do reload the approach for vectors and see if that's an option, and then that'll make it pretty easy. If we go back to procedure, select the VOR approach, transition, and we'll just do vectors, and we'll load that up. And we can actually activate that approach since we're on vectors. So procedure, we can activate vectors to final. And now you can see the approach is activated with the inbound leg to Trina with 3,200 feet as the altitude set. So that looks fine. We can dial in the course. So the inbound course is 203. Okay, 203 is set. We haven't got the VOR yet, looks like. Still got a little ways to go though. And we're showing the ALW VOR up there. So it should be on the yellow needle, I think, and we should have DME popping up here. Make sure that's on. And one, yep.
November 848 Delta, turn right, heading 345.
Turn right, heading 345, November 848 Delta.
345. Yeah, we'll see how he does with the radar vectors for this one. So let's do a descent checklist. So cowl flaps are closed, throttle will reduce, mixtures will enrich when we start the descent. Monitor the performance and make sure our cylinder head temperatures stay in the green. How's our O2 level? It's coming down a little bit, but see it on the tablet here too. So we used a little bit of O2, still at 97%. So he was going to take us up and then probably turn us this way, take us in on the vectors. Yeah, I'd like to see that update in Beyond ATC where they can, so right now when you request a runway change, that's all you can request is the runway. You can't request which approach you want. So they should have the ability to request the approach via any of the initial fixes from the approach. So if there's multiple initial fixes, I should be able to request the VOR approach via the Wawa transition.
Turn left, heading 335, November 848 Delta.
Yeah, because for this I could have just requested the VOR via the Wawa transition, or the the Walla Walla transition, but it doesn't give you that option. Oh, let me know in the comments or the chat if you've ever been to Walla Walla. Seems like a nice location. I love the name. think just based on looking, we're probably going to be just over this ridge. So looks like it just kind of parallels that ridge. Look at the terrain view. So at this altitude we're okay for all the terrain around here.
November 848 Delta, contact Seattle Center 132.6 CU.
Center on 132.6, November 848 Delta. Seattle Center, November 848 Delta, 12,100 feet.
Seattle Center, copy.
Yeah, it's still 50 miles till we get to the edge of that ridge, 43 miles, so yeah, that makes sense. So they're probably not going to give us much lower altitude till we get somewhere up in closer to the airport. Getting a little cool, put a little bit more heat on. Surprised how far back he took us on vectors. It's quite a ways back. So unfortunately we don't get any top of descent info with radar vectors. But when he starts giving us lower altitudes, I'll just descend to 1,000 feet per minute at least to get down. The airport elevation is that's just 1,200 feet, so got a lot of altitude to lose.
Altimeter 3008, expect radar vectors for VOR runway 20, November 848 Delta.
I must say the ATC is pretty snappy for this latest update. Not really many delays at all. So I think I'll keep these Baron flights as a Sunday stream. And occasionally I'll try to stick another stream in during the week, maybe on Wednesdays. Let me know in the comments or in the chat if there's any particular airplane you'd like me to fly on a weekday stream. Okay, so descend and maintain 6,000 radar vectors for the BOR. So I'm going to go 6,000 vertical speed and down 1,000 feet per minute. So you see a tick down means 1,000 feet per minute down. And we'll engage that. And I'll bring the power back. And keep the speed around 180. And I've got the terrain setting set, so we'll see any terrain pop up if we start getting lower here. Now he shouldn't give us anything lower than safe vector altitude, so we'll see. Picked up the VOR, so yeah, we got the VOR now, so we're 31 miles back. And if we go to the chart, we can see from this area, within 25 miles, we're good to 7,600 feet, so that's without radar vectors, so we'll have to see how this is looking. Hopefully it doesn't fly us into the ground, but it's a nice visual day, so we'll definitely avoid that.
November 848 Delta, true 6 miles from within flight, present heading, maintain 3,800 until established on the final approach course, cleared VOR runway 20.
Fly present heading 3,800 until established, cleared VOR runway 20, November 848 Delta.
Okay, that's not a very good vector, so he says maintain present heading till established down to 3,800. So really, that's not a very good intercept, so I'm giving, he should be taking us down here, downwind, and then bringing us in this way. So this is definitely not an intercept for an approach that we're going to be shooting in this direction here. So I'm going to give a big fail to Beyond ATC for this approach. But I will set 3,800 feet. And we'll stay in vertical speed. And you can see the 3,800 he got probably from the inbound for the approach here. So let's look at the chart. Yeah, I don't know where he got the 3,800 from. Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll head up this way. We'll just kind of vector ourselves onto final, and hopefully we don't descend into any terrain here. We'll just have to maintain that visually. So I don't think Beyond ATC didn't do a very good job here for the vectored approach for the VOR. So we'll just kind of vector ourselves. Put the terrain up here so we can see it a little bit better. So you can see the higher terrain behind us starting to pop up. I'm going to reduce the rate of descent because I want to be down and right around where that thing is, so I'll get my banana bar on that kind of. So that's looking pretty good. We'll hit 3,800 right around there. I still might have to level off for the hills up ahead. The airport looks like it's 20 miles over in this direction here. See where that Hodem fix is. Yeah, Hodem's right there, so. Somewhere in between these two fixes, I'll kind of turn onto a base leg. Might have to level off here a little bit. So we'll maintain level. We get clear of this ridge and then we'll head down. We'll get our landing light on, we'll put our mixtures to full, get the props to full. Prop sync is off. And cowl flaps will leave closed. Throttles will reduce required, mixtures are rich. T's and P's will monitor. Get the approach checklist, belts are on, fuel selectors are on, oxygen can go off, landing lights are on, pitot heat's not required, windshield heat's not required, prop heat's not required, air conditioner is off, cowl flaps, they're good for now, still pretty cool out there, mixture is max, and approach flap to go. So I'll head up here, and then I'll do a little base leg turn.
November 848 Delta, minimum approach speed.
Minimum approach speed, November 848 Delta.
Yeah, don't worry, buddy. Airport should be over here somewhere. I would say somewhere in there. Okay, I'll start the descent going again. Looking good, so 3,800 is looking good there, and start altering my heading a little bit. Okay, so we're going to hit 3,800 right about where we come onto the on-course. That should work out good. You can see we're below a glide path there, so. Start getting the speed back. Want to be below 150 to get our gear and flaps. Reducing the descent.
November 848 Delta, resume normal speed.
Resume normal speed, November 848 Delta.
A little bit of turbulence here on the hills. Okay, so base leg. And the airport is 13 miles that way. I don't have a visual yet. It's 48, 1,000 to go. Oh, there's the airport right there, just outside the town, I think. We have the airport in sight, so we'll just take it visually once we get lined up and on the glide path. Speed's coming back nicely. Below 150, I'll get the approach flap out. Approach flap. Get it. A little bit of power. Speed above 120. I'll start turning to intercept. Select nav. Go through the center line a little bit here, that's no big deal.
November 848 Delta, contact Walla Walla Tower 118.5.
Over to Tower 118.5, November 848 Delta. Walla Walla Tower, November 848 Delta, VOR runway 20.
November 848 Delta, Walla Walla Tower, wind variable at 4, runway 20, clear to land.
Runway 20 cleared to land, November 848 Delta.
Okay, we're clear to land. Leveling off at 3,800 feet. Should be a glide path coming in here momentarily. And we do have the airport in sight. Just keeping the speed up here. But we can arm the approach. Let's get our descent going. When we get the descent going, we'll get the gear. The glide path. So when you're shooting this approach, you can use the glide path, but you can't, you still have to level off at your MDA. You can just use this as a tool to help you shoot the approach. Okay, let's go gear down. Do a landing checklist. Props are full, mixtures are full, flaps approach for now, we'll go full flap for landing. Gears down and locked. Autopilot will disconnect here in a minute and we'll just fly in visually. That's our landing checklist complete. We're clear to land. So I'll get rid of the autopilot and the flight director and we'll just visually fly this in. Maintain about 120 or so until we get a little closer. Actually, we can keep the flight director. It's useful to have. Oh, that outer marker, that's that outer marker at that fix there. You don't see a lot of those anymore. Yeah, great looking airplane. I'll get rid of the flight director. I think it's doing too much for me here. A little bit low, but do have the runway in sight. Better bring the speed back. If I remember, the minimums were around 1760, so this is where you'd have to level off, and then you just have to maintain the level around here until you got a visual with the runway. So you just level off, add a little bit of power. Then you got your self-visual with the runway. And once you're on the Vazis,
500.
Descent. Okay, we'll get the power back, get the speed back, approach flap. There's a little bit of wind here. He's looking good. Definitely got a little bit of a crosswind going on here. touchdown. Welcome to Walla Walla, Washington.
November 848 Delta, exit left at Alpha 3.
Exit left at Alpha 3, November 848 Delta.
I think this is Alpha 3, but anyway, we'll take it anyway. Yep. Okay, we'll get the flaps up, landing light off, strobe light off. Nice.
November 848 Delta, contact ground 121.6.
Ground 121.6, November 848 Delta.
So imagine we'll park over there somewhere. Just look on their little Beyond ATC map and see what they have. Ramp 102. Yep, that's just over to the left here, so that's fine.
November 848 Delta, request taxi to allocated ramp.
November 848 Delta, taxi to ramp Sierra 102 via Alpha 3 Alpha.
Taxi to ramp Sierra 102
Alpha
via
3
Alpha
Alpha.
3 Alpha, November 848 Delta.
So we'll just park over here where these other planes are. Okay, taxi light is on. We can get the after landing checklist. Cow flaps, we'll open them up. Flaps are up. Lights are off. Ice protection's all off. Air conditioning we don't need. It's nice and cool. Well, it's getting kind of warm actually, but we'll open the door here momentarily and we'll get the heater off. That'll help. And the after landing checklist is complete. So we'll just head over here. Park ourselves. Park beside that Cherokee or whatever it is there. Taxi light off. In our mixtures a little bit. Be good there. Parking brake on. Nice. We'll go to standby on the transponder. Do our shutdown checklist. So parking brake set. Avionics can go off. Sub-panel switches are all off. Throttle is closed. Propellers high RPM and mixtures to cut off. Magnetos can go off. Alternators off. We'll get all the nav lights off. Battery master off. Get the door open. Parking brake, we'll leave it on for now. Control locks we can install. And welcome to Walla Walla. Definitely a fun little flight. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, take time, hit that like. Subscribe, sign up for notifications, and you can see videos like this when I put them out in the future. Like I said, I'll try to make these a Sunday flight for our flight to Alaska. Hopefully we get some VATSIM coverage next time. It seems to be pretty common on the West Coast, Seattle, Vancouver area. So if you'd like to follow me along on the flight on VATSIM, you're more than welcome. Just have to be comfortable flying on VATSIM. Yeah, so definitely a fun little trip today. And yeah, I even made a mistake myself, almost lined up for the wrong runway in Boise, but luckily we picked that up. Yeah, so definitely a lot of fun. hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next Sunday for next leg of our flight to Alaska. Have a great day. We'll see you. Band it out.